The elevator doors slid open on the 47th floor, and there he was, Adam, my boss, his tie loosened like a noose half untied, bloodshot eyes locking onto mine as if he'd been waiting to unload a lifetime of unspoken fury. Ian, you think you're untouchable because you kiss ass better than anyone else? Well, guess what? I've got the board's ear, and your little stunt just cost us the goddamn merger. His voice cracked on the last word, not with anger, but something deeper, rawer, like a man confessing a sin he couldn't name. I stepped out, heart slamming against my ribs, the fluorescent hum of the empty office amplifying the silence that followed. Rain lashed the floor-to-ceiling windows, turning the Chicago skyline into a blurred watercolor of regret. And in that split second, I knew. This wasn't just about the deal we'd botched. It was about us. About the risks I'd taken, the lines I'd crossed, and the respect I'd chased like a fool in the dark. I'd been at Sterling and Hale for 2 years, a mid-level analyst fresh out of Northwestern with a chip on my shoulder the size of Lake Michigan. Chicago suited me. Brutal winters that mirrored my guarded heart, endless summers of rooftop parties where I could pretend to be just another guy nursing a craft IPA, scanning the crowd for eyes that lingered a beat too long. But work, that was my battlefield. I was gay in a firm where diversity meant a rainbow sticker on the HR door and zero actual conversations about it. I kept my head down, dated discreetly, a barista here, a graphic designer there, but ambition burned hotter than any hookup. I wanted respect, the kind that came from closing deals, not whispering in hallways. Adam Kensington was the reason I stayed. He was 38, all sharp suits and sharper wit, with that effortless command that made boardrooms his kingdom. Salt and pepper hair cropped close, a jawline that could cut glass, and eyes like storm clouds over the loop, gray, piercing, always calculating. He ran the acquisitions team like a general, barking orders that left us scrambling but somehow sharper for it. Rumors swirled. Divorced young, no kids, a ghost of a social life. He was the boss everyone feared and secretly idolized. The one who'd built Sterling from a sleepy consultancy into a powerhouse devouring startups for breakfast. Our paths crossed on the Whitaker deal, a scrappy fintech outfit worth $200 million if we played it right. Adam tapped me for the pitch team, a nod that felt like validation after months of grunt work. Ian, you're green, but you've got fire, he'd said, clapping my shoulder in the conference room, his hand lingering just a fraction too long. I chalked it up to the adrenaline, but it stuck with me, that warmth seeping through my shirt like a promise. The risks started small. Late nights in the office, poring over spreadsheets while the city emptied out. Adam would wander in with takeout, deep dish from Lou Malnati's, extra sausage, and we'd talk strategy over greasy slices. Not just numbers, real talk. How he'd clawed his way up from a Rust Belt mill town in Indiana, burying his dad's debts under Ivy League loans. How the divorce had gutted him, left him allergic to bullshit relationships. I shared bits of myself too, the coming out fight with my conservative folks in Milwaukee, the ex who'd bailed when my hours got insane. Felt safe, brotherly, until it didn't. One Thursday, 3 weeks into prep, the Whitaker CEO threw a curveball. They wanted exclusivity, no leaks, or the deal's dead. Adam paced the war room, tie yanked off, sleeves rolled to reveal forearms corded with tension. We can't guarantee that without burning bridges elsewhere, he growled. The team froze, but I saw it. The flicker in his eyes, the what-if hanging unspoken. I'll handle it, I blurted. Heads turned. Adam stopped, staring like I'd grown a second head. What? Ian, that's suicide. You'd be going rogue. Not rogue. Calculated. My pulse thrummed. This was it, the risk to earn his respect, to prove I wasn't just another cog. I know a guy at the Tribune, off record. I leak a red herring, say we're eyeing a competitor. Buys us time without tipping our hand. Adam's laugh was bitter, edged with something like admiration. You're playing with fire, kid. One wrong move and we're both ash. But he didn't stop me. That night, I made the call from a burner app, heart in my throat, fabricating just enough smoke to distract the press. By morning, headlines screamed about a rival bid. Whitaker bit hard. The deal locked in at $220 million. Champagne popped in the bullpen, and Adam pulled me aside in the hallway, his grip on my elbow firm, electric. You saved our asses. Don't let it go to your head. It went to my head anyway, and lower if I'm honest. The way his cologne lingered after those closed-door debriefs, cedar and smoke, stirring something I'd buried under deadlines. I told myself it was hero worship, but late-night runs along the lakefront, pounding pavement under sodium lights, I couldn't shake the pull. Adam was straight edge, or so the office lore went, women only, nothing messy. Yet there were moments. His gaze holding mine across the table, a brush of knuckles when passing files, silences thick with what-ifs. The romance crept in like fog off the water. After the Whitaker close, he invited the team to the Violet Hour, that speakeasy buried in Wicker Park with its velvet curtains and illicit glow. Beers turned to whiskeys, laughter loosening tongues. The others trickled out, but Adam and I stayed, tucked in a corner booth, the jazz humming low. To risks, he toasted, clinking glasses, his knee pressing mine under the table, not pulling away. You always this reckless? I teased, emboldened by the burn in my chest. Only when it pays off. His smile was crooked, vulnerable. We talked until last call, about the loneliness of the climb, how success felt like a hollow echo in a too-big penthouse. When we stepped into the chill night, he hailed a cab but paused at the curb, rain starting to spit. Ian, thanks for seeing me, not just the title. I don't know who moved first. Maybe it was the whiskey, or the way his collar framed the pulse at his throat. Our lips met tentative, then hungry, against the brick wall. His hands framing my face, mine fisting his shirt. It was fireworks over the skyline, a confession in salt and heat. We broke apart gasping, eyes wide in the downpour. This shit, he muttered, but he didn't run. Instead, he pulled me into the cab, our thighs pressed thigh to thigh all the way to my Andersonville walk-up. What followed was a fever dream of stolen moments. Mornings tangled in my sheets, his head on my chest, whispering about dreams deferred. Afternoons in his sleek River North office, door locked, kisses that tasted like power and peril. He opened up, about the ex-wife who'd known he was bi but couldn't handle the complications. About the closet he'd built brick by brick to protect his career. I'm not ashamed, Ian, just strategic. I believed him because in those quiet hours he was all heart, all mine. I fell hard, risking everything for the man behind the mask, thinking respect was just the start. But ambition's a jealous lover. Enter the Langford acquisition, a biotech goldmine, $500 mill on the line, Adam's ticket to partner track. He looped me in deep, our strategy sessions bleeding into midnight drives along Lake Shore, hands intertwined over the gearshift. You're my edge, he'd say, voice rough with affection. I poured my soul into it, nights blurring into dawn, projections that danced on the razor's edge of ethics. One clause nagged, a whistleblower risk from a former Langford exec. Adam waved it off. We bury it. For the win. I hesitated, the old fire flickering. What if it blows up? We're talking lives, patients relying on their tech. His jaw tightened, the storm clouds rolling in. You want respect? This is how you get it. Play the game, Ian. Or get off the board. It stung, but I nodded, drafting the cover memo that night, fingers trembling over the keys. Betrayal? Not yet, but the seed was planted. The pitch went supernova. Langford signed, bonuses flowed like the Chicago River in spring. Adam got his promotion, toasts at the firm-wide gala where he thanked the team, me included, with a nod that felt like a caress from across the room. But whispers started. The whistleblower surfaced, alleging data fudged in the due diligence. The SEC circled, headlines in the Trib screaming, Sterling's shadow deal. Panic hit like a freight train. Adam called me to his office at 2 a.m., the city a black void beyond the glass. They'll trace it to the memo. Yours. His voice was steel, but his eyes, God, those eyes betrayed the fracture. I had to protect the firm. Rewrote it, pinned it on you as lead analyst. It's business, Ian. The room spun. Business? After everything? You used me, my work, My voice broke, the betrayal a knife twisting slow. He'd fed me to the wolves, our nights erased in a single signature. I risked it all for you, for us. He stepped closer, hand reaching, but I flinched. I love you, damn it, but this world, it chews up dreamers. I couldn't lose it all. Love. The word tasted like ash. This isn't love. It's survival. I stormed out, rain sheeting the windows like tears I wouldn't shed, the elevator plummeting 47 floors into the abyss. The fallout was biblical. Investigation dragged for weeks. I lawyered up, fought tooth and nail, but the board circled wagons around their golden boy. Adam testified, cool as Lake Michigan ice, his words carving me hollow. Ian acted independently. A good kid, but overzealous. I lost the job, the respect I'd clawed for, my name mud in the industry. Friends drifted. The barista dumped me via text. Too much drama. Babe. Nights blurred into bourbon haze. Runs turning to marathons of self-loathing along the lake. Waves crashing like accusations. But betrayal's cruel gift is clarity. In the wreckage I rebuilt, not for approval but truth. I freelanced, consulted for startups that valued ethics over empire. Dated a teacher named Marco, steady and kind. No power plays. Adam? He faded to ghost. A LinkedIn update on his corner office. A tabloid whisper of a new beau. Some model half his age. Part of me hoped he'd choke on the emptiness. Then, 6 months later, the rooftop. I'd been summoned for a settlement chat. Code for one last gut punch. But as thunder rumbled over the loop, Adam waiting in the deluge, soaked and shattered. I saw the man, not the monster. I lied to save us both, he said, voice cracking over the gale. But I lost you, and me. I could have walked, should have. Instead, I closed the gap, not for forgiveness but understanding. You taught me respect isn't earned in shadows. It's claimed in light. No kiss, no reprise. Just two souls stripped bare. Rain washing away the grime of what was. He resigned the next week, scandal be damned. Last I heard, he's in Portland, running a nonprofit for queer youth in tech, turning his climb into a ladder for others. Me? I'm still in Chicago, scars and all, pitching deals that sleep easy at night. Love found me again. Real this time, in quiet mornings with Marco and a view of the water that doesn't drown. Risks? I'll take them. But now I know the cost and the grace in paying it. We all chase respect. But sometimes, the deepest discovery is forgiving the boy who thought he had to hide to win.